Hello. So, we're back down the shed. I think our weather's been kind to us. It's reasonably warm. It's not raining. At least the frost has gone. So, we've had a bit of a change with the layout down the shed. So you can see on the outside, I've moved this track outwards. I figured that basically what it was in that corner over there, because this track was coming too far this way, the bend radius I had there was too tight, and I wasn't happy with it. It just looked too tight across there. It's still tighter than I want, but this is a compromise. This really is a compromise, just trying to fit what I want into this shed. So there's going to be some compromises, but we've managed to get the pointing over there and the crossover to the outside track there. But what I've done is I've got rid of the fact that we've got 3 platforms, and we're going to one platform there, and we'll have a platform in the middle. So this will be a passing loop, a goods loop, or just an express part of the track. So trains will pass through there. They won't actually stop at that station there. But I'm happy with it. I'm not overly disappointed with that. Again, it is a compromise. So what it's meant is, so you can kind of see where the old track went. So I marked it just in case it didn't work. I marked where the old track went, so I could put it back if I needed to. So all I've done is I've moved that track outwards. It means I can move this inner track outwards as well. So the radius going around there is a lot smoother. This end wasn't so much of a problem. This end wasn't so much of a problem. I kind of took liberties on this side because I knew that this is where the elevation is going to go up. So this is where the track's going to go up to go over the track over there. Now, as you can see, I've laid the track there, so I know how that is going to go. So I've laid it down and just pinned it down very, very loosely in certain sections so that I can make a template. So my next job now is to make a template to go around there so that I can transfer it onto the foam board. So that's where I'm at now. So this is basically tacked down. I've got my bridge that I've worked out, again using one of the things that I've done is use one of the longest carriages that I've got. So I've used one of the longest carriages to make sure that everything goes through, everything fits through tunnels and stuff like that. So that's where I am now. So like I say, we've had a bit of a change. Most of this all works quite smoothly. I've run the trucks over it once and run the trains over it. It tends to run quite smoothly. I'm quite fastidious with my track laying, so it's working pretty good. He says confidently. We'll find out once we've all laid it down. Again, I can't run trains over it at the moment. Well, I suppose I could do. I could easily put some crocodile clips on there, but they won't go over the points because I've altered the points. The points are now designed for digital running. So I've changed the points for digital running. There are various videos on YouTube for stuff like that, but basically, rather than relying on the point blades for transferring the voltage, what I've actually done is join the points there. So I don't know if you can see that on there. So they are soldered links in between the two. That means that that section, so that point there under my thumb, is always the same polarity as that, similar to there. What you have to do in there, again I don't know if you can see that, so in there are links that come with the points. You have to cut them, because otherwise you will get short. So that means, put it down so it's easy, so that means where you've got that join there, so that is completely isolated from that, that is powered from that. So you're not relying on the point blade to transfer electricity. It makes for a lot more reliable running. It does mean that I've got to put a switch in these, but it's not too much of a problem. That will go on the bottom of the point motor. So that means that will be switched by the point motor itself. So that will change polarity depending on which way you've selected the route. Obviously you've got to have insulated joints in there because that could create a short circuit. I'll do another video on that at some point if you're interested. The actual layout will have track droppers, get me English right, on each section. So it's hopefully going to make for a very reliable layout. That's what I aim for. I like reliable running. I just don't like stuff stalling on the track, it annoys me. So working around there, so the track goes, the layout, the track goes round there, quite a nice sweeping curve, all the way back round to here, so that will go over the bridge and then back down along there. So hopefully the track gradient won't be too severe. Again, it's not really going to be prototypical, it's going to be a compromise, but my next job, so that's where my next job is going. That's what we're up to next. Oh yeah, and we talked about having the shunting yard here, so that's going to work quite well over here. I think I'm going to have a reasonable amount of space to do that. So we'll have this point here, we'll have a track coming in there, so that will be the head shunt, and then we'll have that point there, so that track, that one will go there, and then you'll have two over there. I have thought about whether I could fit in somewhere around here a spur coming off to have a good shed, an engine shed around here, but we'll see. Not sure about that one. Again, like I said, it's a bit of a compromise, but there we go. What I really would like to do, and I quite fancy the idea of this, is have this as like a cutting, so you'll have an embankment there and an embankment there for this. So that will be a cutting, and then that will go into a tunnel over there. So this will be all tunnel up to there. I quite like the idea of that, an embankment, because it will look nice when you're sat down. When you're sat down at the lower level looking at the track, it will look nice because the train will disappear out of view behind here. I quite like the idea of that. That sounds quite good. So that's where we are. I'm going to make up my template, and all I'm going to do, just got some sheets of paper. Just going to join them together, lay it on the track, draw around it, and then transfer that onto the board. He says confidently. Sounds easy, doesn't it? So hopefully next time you'll see me, we'll have a bit of a rise going on here with the foam insulation. So wish me luck. Speak soon. So template's been made. Just join the paper together. Relatively straightforward. So just sheets of A4 paper. Just join them together. Laid them over the track, and then and then all I did was just rub the track with my fingers, so it kind of indented on the track, on the paper where the track went. So I followed that round, so just laid it on the track, followed it round, and then just cut it out roughly, because it doesn't have to be too neat at this point. Obviously we've extended it so it's obviously wider than the track, so we've got a bit of overhang either side. Now I'm just laying it on the sheet of insulation. Now obviously it's too long, so I'm going to have to do this in 2 stages. Again, it's a bit of a pain, but this was free, didn't cost me anything, so I'm not going to moan about it. So yeah, so we've got an angle on that side, so obviously that's going to sit up against there. I think what I might do is have a piece of wood over there, so the wood will extend further to make the transition from flat to slope better. But again, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so next job is we'll put this on here and then cut it out. Cutting this out should be relatively straightforward. It is quite easy to cut. So template done, mounted on there, insulating board, so getting there. So cut the template out, cut that out, cut the board out, so that is going around there. Obviously we've got to make the last bit for there, but we'll come back to that because I'm not sure at what point we will be here, whether we'll be up there or down there, so that can wait. Now this is the tricky bit now, because I've got to now put the slope in here. Now I'm not looking forward to this bit. This is going to be tricky. Obviously I've got to know what my starting point is, because this is too high. I don't think that needs to be that high. Look at the bridge. If you look at the bridge, that sits at the top of the bridge, so I could start that a little lower. I don't know actually. Yeah, we could start that a little lower, so maybe start it from down there, and the curve has got to be very, very gradual going down. So we'll see how we go with that one. Back in a minute. Okay, so we've cut it out, so you can see we've now got the slope going down there. So it's going down to a point there. Remember that I couldn't do it all of the way because we didn't have enough foam. So the cutting out in that direction didn't go all that well. You can see we've got some, I don't know if that comes out on the camera, but we've got a couple of dodgy bits, and if we go down on the slope, some of it ain't great. The good thing is with this foam though, it is relatively easy to sand down with a bit of sandpaper. Very easy to sand. What I've got to do though is get quite a big block so it goes gradually. I don't think it'd be that bad, but the one thing you must do is you've got to wear some safety equipment with this, bit of goggles and mask, dust mask, because it doesn't have to make a mess. I've also got my trusty little hoover down here just to catch most of it, because it doesn't have to make a mess. That is now actually secured in place. So bit of PVA glue on there, glued it down, put some weight on it so it's held it in place, and the good thing is I glued it in the right place, which is a bit of a bonus. So if we just lay the track on there, so just lay it on there loosely, you can see where it's going. Comes around like that. As we did as we pinned it down, we've just got to shape that so it just follows that across there. So we've got some nice, quite nice smooth curves. What I intend to do is, because I made it so wide, I kind of did that on purpose, because I thought, well, if it goes right, fair enough. If it goes wrong, at least I've got a bit more overhang to account for any mishaps in my measuring. But because I've got the track pretty well bang in the middle, what I'm going to do is put some slope on here, so it'll look like an embankment as it goes up. I will probably infill that so we get the cutting over there as well. But that's the first bit nearly done. That ain't come out too bad at all. I'm actually quite pleased with that. Obviously we've got to finish it going down to here, but again, from what I cut out, I've got some offcuts. We've got some offcuts, so I can easily add that in there. That fits quite nicely in there, so we can add that in there. I need it to finish flat before the point. I don't really want it finishing there. If I do that, it's going to cause derailments over the point, so I've got to finish it around here so it's nice and flat going on to the point. That's the idea. So otherwise I imagine it probably will cause some derailments going over there. It's going to be one of them things. We'll try to see how it goes, but the actual slope going up is actually quite a gradual incline. It's quite a nice curve going up, quite a nice slope going up, so it's coming up. I've tried rolling a wagon down it. I'm not going to do that on the video. A wagon rolled down it quite nicely, so the track laying isn't too bad, or the foundation isn't too bad, but we've just got to tidy it up so it looks nice and neat. So I think we'll post this one, and I'll come back to doing the other bit at another point. Cheers, bye bye.